So guys, Peter Obi's video has stirred another controversy. Peter Obi was heard during an interview session saying he doesn't know why people steal money. I mean, people in government. He doesn't know for what reason they are stealing the money that is meant for the public. Guys, this has led to a lot of reactions from Nigerians. Now, many other videos of Peter Obi are also circulating on the social media. This is one of the videos. And this guy reacted to what Peter Obi said here when Peter Obi spoke about his businesses, you know, how he got to where he is today. Now, this person said, I have said it before and I will say it again. If you remove stolen money, Peter Obi is richer than Tinubu by far. All from the works of his hand. Guys, this is amazing. That Peter Obi is richer than Tinubu. As in, remove state money, public money that they embezzle. Peter Obi is richer than all of them, guys. Now, this other person here reacted and said, on Thursday, 16th March 2006, I was presiding over Fidelity board meeting as the chairman, and all of a sudden, late Ndubisi Kanu said, stop, Mr. Chairman, you have been declared the governor of Anambra State. And that was how the meeting ended. Peter Obi, NDC presidential candidate, guys. So even after Peter Obi was in court, this man was not idle. He was still the chairman of a bank. I think he chairmaned like 3 different banks. Now, Peter Obi said it was in the course of a meeting as chairman of a bank that he even got the information that he has been declared governor of Anambra State. And that was how the meeting ended, and he went to resume work as governor. Guys, this Peter Obi, you can imagine, this man has proven that, see, leadership is not rocket science. Even while he was waiting for court pronouncement, he still went ahead with his usual business, being the chairman of a bank, just doing things as usual. But if it were to be the governors that we have today, they will be busy moving from one judge to the other, disrupting appeal courts and Supreme Court processes, trying to bribe and corrupt people's mind. Guys, Peter Obi has shown leadership. Now, we know that Peter Obi has been questioning where Tinubu is keeping all the money he's borrowing, because people cannot feel anything from his government. Now, this man, who is a Peter Obi's supporter, said he left Nigeria almost dead. But when he returned to Nigeria, he can now run because of the health system, sophisticated health system in the US. Guys, take your time and see how Nigerians have also lamented over the hardship Tinubu have subjected Nigerians to. Just watch these videos just for you to know how Peter Obi is different from them. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Now take a look.
Ruben, when I came here, I brought a few things that ordinary is personal to me. I lived in England when they introduced American Express card, platinum card. I was living in England when they introduced it. And they said 5,000 people will get it. Those 5,000 people, their card showed charter member. This is my own. Showed their charter member. Member since 1987.
Can somebody use it on your behalf?
No, so, I lived in England, Ruben.
You don't need to look at it.
Ruben, I lived in England when American Express introduced black card. And they said 1,000 persons will be issued with this card. I have it here, so charter member. To tell you my experience in this card, they told me to go and collect this card somewhere in Sloane Street around Harrods. I got there. When I came out from the station, the man who was in the office where I was going to collect it asked me, who are you? And I introduced myself. I said, how did you come? I said, I came from Nice Bridge or underground. He said, well, underground? I said, yes. Who are you? I called my name. He said, we don't have any name or card like that here. So I left to go back to the station, because what I use in England, everybody knows is underground. I was going back to the station when my bank manager called me and said, Peter, go back there. I think they found the card. What shocked me is, how can this man come from underground to collect this card that everybody have come to collect Rolls Royce on this one? Ruben had a viable business. If anything, politics, I'm not regretting, because everywhere I found myself is grace of God. That's why when I went into the same politics, when people say this person is doing this person, I say, listen, I came here by grace of God, I won't abuse it. Otherwise, if there's anything to regret in my life, it's going into politics, because he made me poorer. But however, I'm glad that God allowed me to also make a success of it.
Mr. B,
so
maybe you have to be
the
more
business
specific.
I'm doing,
what kind of business?
I'm telling
how
you,
did you make the money?
I'm telling you, the business I'm doing, that I was a brand and market management company that I run. I had a Heinz franchise You can go and look. I was the sole importer of Heinz salad cream, baked beans, just to give you an example of one company. South African breweries, who is the international breweries, I was their sole engineer. I can go on and on. I was working, bringing the Ovaltine for Novartis with another company. When I can go on and everything. In fact, to tell you what the company is, the company I was involved before, when I left and my brother took it over and paid me off, sort of became Next Cash and Carry that you see in Abuja and Port Harcourt now. So the same company. I was a trader. Everybody knows I was a very big trader. Even chairman will tell you. Chairman knew I used to import wine and used to send him champagne. He will tell you that when he was in Surrey, when all of us were still at the struggling stage. So I had a viable business, but went into banking. So if the person wants to know, I was sitting on board of 3 banks, could be chairman one before I became governor. So that is also a business.
So you have shares in those banks too?
Major shares.
Major shares in those banks?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Peter Obi, for joining us this morning. I'm sure that, this conversation will still generate more conversations out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hey. Aveve cool. Let me add another one from our people. That's something they also do. That's one expression. Oh my goodness, I'm sure you watched that video, and that's Mr. Peter Obi bragging right there. And you know, when you have those bragging rights, the rights that you bragging rights, the rights that you have, and then you say that go and verify. And you know that when they verify, the verify will be verifiable. That is just it. But on a more serious note, you understand, when Peter Obi talked about the fact that when he got into public office, that he said he doesn't have regrets. He actually became poorer. It's actually true. When you put yourself in this, I can also look at it from my own small part, because I'm a businesswoman, I'm a trader, I'm a distributor. And by the way, distributorship, oh Lord have mercy. Sometimes when me and Peter Obi, when we talk about certain things and it's all he's talking about, this is business, I'm like, why didn't I know you in 2005, 2006, 2007, in the heart of my distribution, this thing? There are some businesses that I was looking for their distributorship. Hey, Nestle. I look for that Nestle, I don't get Nestle. I remember when Nestle water came in Kaduna, there was only one woman was selling. Do you know what it is to be a sole distributor? That's the gold mine. For every trader, when you're into distributorship, that being a sole distributor is such a gold mine, because more. Your hand go touch. I was just saying, I was like, why didn't I know you then? But anyway, it is what it is. So being a sole distributor is a whole lot. And for you to be a sole distributor of like Africa, one of the things that Peter Obi also talks about is the fact that so many products, like you go to your place now, you give him a product. There's one product he used to talk about, I can't remember what it was. He said he went to an office and then they gave it to him and he used it. I mean, he ate it or something. It was very nice. He traced the producer. Was it to Bangladesh? This South Asian countries, one small place, went to go and meet the DC. At the end of the day, became the sole distributor of that man. The man had small DC. He started buying everything, collecting everything and distributing it. That's the business. But you see, public service takes away a lot from you, especially if your business is to serve. For those whose business it is to make money, to make fame, or get one thing or the other, personal interest, public service is the one that's when they blow, that's when they hammer, that's when they do this and that. But if you're there to actually do the work, it takes away so much from you. And that's why for me, when a lot of people say, Aisha, you're not going to serve, are you not going to do this, are you not going to, even in 2023, a lot of people that said this, I said, no, I don't want to serve, I'm not ready. And meanwhile, that 2023, that Labour, I was begging people to come and run on that Labour Party. But me, because actually I wasn't ready, to serve. I remember the first time I decided I was going to serve was 2021. I was like, looking forward to 2031. That's when I know I will have the time, because man, I love my freedom too much. In this whole thing that has happened, this whole NDC, hula baloo, and whatever. And I see a lot of people, reaching out to me. People are concerned, I see. There was one that was saying she was commiserating. I wanted to commiserate with her. I said, madam, wait. Person die. My pikin die, be my husband die, be my mama die, my papa die, be my sister die, be me die. So why are you commiserating? I said, there's nothing, But one of the things that people don't get it, for me, especially although by the time I select my public, how do I put it? Being an advocate, public advocate, and all of that, I couldn't focus on my business. In short, I lost interest in money making. It is not that I'm feeling like, I'm going back to go look for that money, because I have the money that I can use to make advocacy. I don't send anybody, papa. But I need the money that I can use to, the kind of money I'm looking for now. Let me even tell you people, I'm looking for that the one they call bastard money, legitimate. The kind of money that I will look and say, that's the role I always say that I wanted to play in politics. So, but it's just like it needs money. I'll be able to say, I'll be like a godmother. I say, this person has competence, character, capacity. He will work well for the people. You make a good governor here. I'll just drop like say 10 billion. Start. Let's put that person there. Or here, this person is going to make a good lawmaker. You understand? Imagine they are doing an election is coming, and I'm sponsoring like maybe 50 to 60 senators. And sponsoring like maybe 200 or to 250 House of Assembly, state houses of assembly. I'm doing like maybe 500-600 or so governors. I'm doing like 20-25. That's the money I'm looking for. If you know how to make that money, please come. By the way, I'm selling fertilizer. I sell fertilizer, so I just got distributorship for fertilizer. I really want to focus on that. So if you know anybody that want to buy trailer of fertilizer, please reach out. And that's the kind of, I'm looking for that kind. I'm telling you to say, but on a serious note, yes, it does. You actually lose more. You lose this thing. So when I see people come, I'm like, do you know, in the last, since this whole primaries, blah, 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 will not be done, everything was done after, I think that was May 30th was the last day. And also, if it's the kind of relief I have had, as in relief, freedom, I'm doing my thing. I'm like, because in the last 1.5, almost I think 1 year, 1.5 years, I've actually been working on this thing. People thought, she just started after Senator Natasha. This thing, that was when I said, no, this thing, I need to run for this thing. The luxury that I said, I don't want to do that. I just felt I was a bit selfish. I'm asking people to run, but I'm not running. And I'm like, it was that at that time during Natasha's this thing. So that's like 1.5 years ago. And that's when I started working on this thing. Right from, and the whole, obstacles that I faced. One day we'll talk about that story. But you see the relief for me, the freedom, the relief, the enjoyment. I'm thinking of traveling already. I'm going to go. I'm planning on going on. Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4 this thing? Just go and relax and enjoy. If to say continue now, they did primaries, I would have won definitely by the grace of God. I knew I was winning because that was why they didn't do primaries. It was on lockdown. I would have been here now planning how to do this, going to this, do this. Now I'm just like, baby Karen, thank you so much for watching. Bye.
I'm going to ask you, at what point did you decide to buy shares? Because from research, you hold the highest sharehold for a bank. How did you start this? What was the pivotal, interesting thing that pushed you to decide that you would do this? And you've done it for over the years and have increased your stake in that bank. How did you do this, sir?
It's something that I don't like telling that story. I'm a trader. I've never been involved in the corporate world. But I don't know how to answer this. I went to a bank. But let me tell you, I went to a bank. I'm a customer of this bank, but I'm a small customer. Very small customer. And I go to this bank regularly. You know, I'm somebody, even to today, I don't do electronic banking, surprisingly. Because I like going to the bank. So I'm seeing who I'm talking to. So that nobody tells me stories. Somebody did and you're not seeing your money again. So I make it. I went to bank one of these days. The manager was busy doing something else. You people now in bank where you go, of course they tend to you. When it was just few banks, they won't talk to you. So this manager was busy talking to the big people and everything. And suddenly says to us, he wants to go to break. And I said, manager, we've been here since about 9 o'clock. And now you're saying you're going to break. You won't believe it. The manager said I was rude. That I can close my account and go somewhere else.
Right.
And I left the bank. I decided I'm going to buy the share of this bank. Every year, whatever I get, I'm going to put it in this bank. Buy the shares of this bank. So I started buying the shares small. Every day I buy small of it. Every day was my first time. Started buying small of it. And eventually, I started borrowing money from this bank. So I realized two things. The blood of my business is finance. And these people hold the blood. And I give them money and they make profit. And they share it to themselves. And look at how this man treated me. Once I started doing that, everything started. And I started picking. I never worked in the bank. People think I worked in the bank. Never. Not one day. In this my shop, the banks come. One day an MD of a bank came to me and said, Peter, we want you to come to our board. I said, me? He said, yes. Because whenever we come here, what we discuss with you, you can make an impact on our board. I said, okay. I'm not buying little of this year. I'm not been invited to come to the board. And I entered a board where everybody is above 60 years and I was 30-something years. And I come to meetings and I listen to their meetings. I got involved where they lend money. I see how they lend money to people. I see how to do this to people. And I found out that they're lending money to the wrong people. And I'll argue with them. I say, listen, this man, listen to him. If you give him this money, he won't pay. This man have a genuine business. And that has remained with me today. Anybody who will pay the back debt, I will tell you. Anybody who won't pay, I will tell you. Just looking at the person. By the time he finishes his business presentation, I will tell you this person will pay. And this person won't pay. And I got the bank. One day the chairman left and they were looking for a new chairman. I was campaigning for somebody. They said, you will be the chairman. You are the number one contributor here. I'm involved in that bank by default.
Let me tell you, on the 12th of August, when I left this country for medicals, I was on a wheelchair. I was going through a lot of problems before I left. And I could barely walk. Wrong diagnosis, poor diagnosis, all kinds of trouble. So when I came back from America 4 months, 2 weeks after, and I could run. Sophisticated medical system. I didn't come here with a walking stick. I'm getting better by the day because of the drugs that they give to me. Systems differ. You don't make, when I hear Nigerians say, all over the world there's no fuel subsidy, I say it's a lie. Let me even shock you, Shehu. Nigerians buy fuel much more expensive than Americans do. Americans buy fuel in gallons. In a gallon is between 4 and 5 liters. Yes, and when I was there, it was about 232 per liter, dollars per liter. If you convert it, you find out that it was barely about less than 1,000 naira per liter. How much do you buy fuel today? You know, and then you go further. The American government subsidizes petroleum to the tune of about $20 billion yearly. So when you hear people who are minders of the presidency say to us that there was no alternative to removing fuel subsidy, I say it's a lie. You don't liberalize something that affects the most of our people. And somebody asked me if you were president. I said I won't remove. And let me say this.
But almost all the candidates said they would.
That was where they failed. That's part of the reasons I told you.
So you rather have the subsidy go on with the cabals and those who are thieving and stealing?
You see, interestingly, I like the choice of words. Would you rather have the subsidy go on with the cabal? As a president, the buck stops on my table. And then what will I do? Check the cabal, fight corruption in that sector, and ensure that the subsidy regime is fair and square. That's actually what you do. It is not to impoverish the Nigerian people because you're scared of the cabal.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the headlines of what is happening on the social media space. This person here reacted saying this is what President Tinubu should have done to his service chiefs as the chief in command of the country. But unfortunately, he doesn't it doesn't look like President Tinubu is in charge. Now, see what happened here. He says, I will remove you 2 weeks from today if I hear any incident of one chance traffic robbery in Abuja. Commissioner of Police warns DPOs. So people are saying that this is exactly the kind of leadership Tinubu is supposed to show. You know? But no. Tinubu will sit down and allow the country to be going down. Just tell the terrorists, surrender, you and your sponsors. Finish. Peter Obi shows that he has been operating at global elite level since as far back as 87. When he was among 5,000 people globally to get the platinum card, and in 1999, when he was among 1,000 people globally to get the Centurion card. One thing about Igbo people is that when you see us support another leader fully, they are usually extremely excellent. That is true of all our leaders. Zeke will be a legacy of elite leadership. So Peter Obi talked about how he was among those who first of all got some special cards that many people cannot get, guys. This man went far. Ekiti election, vote buying was happening in front of law enforcement people. It's a violation of the law. It's criminal, Professor Amadi. They don't care. Where do I even start from? I've lost millions. Just look at what the flood has done to my business, Governor Soludo. This has been happening for years at Ogidi Market. Yet we continue to pay taxes. Please do something about this. Yeah, this man's business has been soaked by flood. Hey, he has really lost a lot of money. Flood came in and just messed up everywhere. Pay taxes for what? No benefit in Nigeria. A group of men have gone viral after showing off bundles of dollars they allegedly discovered while working at a site. I hope this one have better money. I hope it's good money. Is it counterfeit? I keep pitying for poor people, but poor people don't even pity for themselves. Very dark man react to girl celebrating after selling her vote. Atiku presidential bid hit stumbling block as ADC stalwarts threaten legal action and withdrawal of support if ex-VP fails to replace Amici as running mate. A bigger problem is about to happen. Peter Obi said he had the equivalent of 1 million in the bank by the time he left university in 1984. To be fair, at that time, the Naira was very strong, but boy, Peter Obi said he had $1 million as at the time he left school. This man, Peter Obi, you are too powerful, guys. Peter Obi is too powerful. Okay, movement Plateau State inaugurates. Peter Obi is coming. Hey, Plateau State too. Plateau State, if you don't want killing. If you are tired of the killings, vote Obi Kwankwaso. If you are tired of the displaced IDP people, vote Obi Kwankwaso. Guys, that's just what we are saying, you know. Nigerian man shares the heartwarming story of taking his dad flying for Father's Day. Yeah. He took his dad, is it to a private jet? It's amazing to watch, guys. Took a Nigerian dad flying. Guys, this is nice to watch, you know. It's all the poverty people are experiencing. If consistency were a person, Obi has always been consistent. Ew. This man has really shown leadership. I mean, pure leadership. Now, this person reacted. The central question must be, what are the actual borrowing all this money for? Zero security, zero. Okay. Amenities zero, security zero, new development zero, power supply zero, human development index zero. Both of them have simply borrowed to enrich themselves. Peter Obi is asking, what are they using borrowing money for? You know, this person is not even a Nigerian, and he appears to be a Muslim, but they all know that Tinubu has failed. Now, this guy has left. Jeremiah Doku states he will pull out of World Cup to return to his wife and stay by her side to welcome the birth of their child. Guys, this guy said he's leaving the World Cup to go and be by his wife. Yeah, it's amazing. Maybe when so that is it. Prime Minister, breaking news, Prime Minister resigns. Keir Starmer resigns. You know, breaking news, Keir Starmer has resigned. The UK Prime Minister resigns over failure, but Tinubu remains tight, seated tight. You know, Shora arrives court ahead of trial over alleged insults of President Tinubu. This one, Tinubu will just keep people, you know, up and down ahead of the election. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Leo Messi and Argentina teammates spotted having some fun before 2027 World Cup game. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts as regards to all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.